Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. Things got strange in Judge Meinecke's courtroom this afternoon. The first defendant wanted to withdraw his plea. Judge Meinecke denied the motion and was very comfortable moving forward with the plea, but not so comfortable streaming it on YouTube. He shut it down. But when they brought it back, things were weird with the next defendant. I'm going to stop explaining and you can start watching. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
2501434.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joanne Bigler appearing on behalf of Mr. Finley. Sir, could you state your name?
Yeah, Matthew Finley. Date time set for a pre-sentence report. Any additions, deletions, or corrections?
Your Honor, I have, my client's indicated to me that he wants to withdraw his plea. That, what happened at the plea, on the day of the plea is not what I thought, or apparently what you thought, and he would like to withdraw.
I don't really have a habit of taking bad pleas, so let's take a look at what happened on the 13th. Because the court believes that the plea was factually sound, I'm not doing anything with it.
Well, I had said 5 times that I wanted to plead not guilty. So I was kind of coerced, and I was just kidding.
Well, look if there's something, make no mistake, I'm going to take a look.
Well, you're not going to have that document.
You didn't say it on the record?
No, I talked to you guys. I said 5 times. I said I want to plead not guilty because I feel like my First Amendment is being violated because it's a disorder. The case, the precedent for freedom of speech. And this is for sentencing, so it goes in further, it's gross misconduct, not forced.
Well,
if you're aware of it, it is.
I appreciate. So, Mr. Finley, I'm not in the business of taking bad pleas, so I would have gone over the record all of your
And
options.
you're not gonna have a document, that's what I'm saying. I heard Ryan 5 times, and they were there, it's not guilty, and you saying you should be guilty. It's a bad plea, and then also what is documented is I was at a behavioral facility for 2 weeks, a week before. But if you're unaware of what the plea deal is, you can't take the plea deal and go conscious.
Are you saying that you
Very
told,
simple. I told you
you
5
told
times.
myself and the
I told you
prosecutor?
5 times.
Mr. Finley, what I would just advise you is it's very difficult to try to work through this when Ms. Bigler is simply trying to ask a question.
Right.
And it seems like even right now, you're continuing to interrupt me.
But I shouldn't be here. That's what because this isn't a prenup. This according to you guys, this is a sentencing.
Correct.
What you're doing is unconstitutional, and you've probably done it before. People have had their lives, this is best case scenario, disrupted or decimated if there's enough of them, right? And they've probably been raped in jail because of you. Right. You didn't do it if it was in between. I talked to Judge Sawicki, Honorable Judge Sawicki, and he said, I'm right. Unequivocally so.
So can you, Ms. Bigler, can you advise me, is Mr. Finley, well, actually, I just asked you, Mr. Finley, can you describe to me the mental health treatment that you are engaging in right now?
No. Right?
It's, what's the relevancy? Here's the
And no medication, I believe no medication.
Because it's sentencing, it's irrelevant because it's sentencing.
Can I say something?
Knowingly,
Could I speak?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I believe that he stated to probation that 1, he wasn't drinking on the day of the offense. That 2, that he's not taking
freedom of speech.
any
It doesn't matter
medication,
when you're drunk during
and
it.
that he's
It's
not
freedom of
receiving any
speech.
mental health treatment, even though he was in a facility prior to us going to court. He was out for a while. I mean, how long was
It
he out?
doesn't matter.
How long was he out of the facility before we had our retrial?
Constitution, that, it doesn't matter the facility, it's the
How long was he
Constitution.
out of his facility, the treatment facility
Yeah,
before court? When he went to, hold on, yeah, facility.
And this is why this happens, we
And then how
sugarcoat
long
stuff,
was he-
gotta make it look good, good stuff.
About 9 days? He was in a,
Good point.
he was in a facility and then he was home for about 9 days. And then, we had pre-trial. We pled no contest. But it is my understanding there has been no further mental health treatment or medication.
That was part of the bond. That was part of the bond.
It doesn't matter, so. If it was a Raymond, you could get away with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I'm not even getting into
So,
other
can I have a
stuff.
pretrial services report? I'm supposed to have pretrial services.
If something, it was the Constitution. You can have any statute for it, which is the law. But if it goes against the Constitution, you can't enforce it, especially if you know them to do so. It's pretty simple. It's freedom of speech. That's what I said.
So I'm looking, Mr. Finley, I'm looking stuff up right now,
It
so
doesn't matter what we have.
feel free,
Constitution
sir.
differs from what we have. You might as well just tear that out. It doesn't matter.
Pretrial services report.
The latest one we have is from October 8th. Is that what you have?
We do have one.
So, Mr. Young, he was supposed to be testing. Has he been testing?
I was the one that conducted the PSI, so I'm not. It was my understanding it was,
Was he supposed to be testing through probation?
that I'm not sure.
That got changed at our
We need to
pre-trial.
change. So,
During pre-trial.
right.
Very simple.
He's supposed to be testing 6 times a month. Has he, the note here says he hasn't had any positive tests.
The problem is if the court knowingly goes against the Constitution, and listen, you're gonna respond to it, which is, it's freedom of speech. The charge I got in trouble with, if you look at the totality of circumstances, which apparently you did, and it was freedom of speech. That was the basis of it. There's no error to the case, so it doesn't matter
Mr.
what
Finley,
you say.
Mr.
It's
Finley,
that simple.
Mr. Finley.
Simple.
Mr. Finley. All right, do you need a minute just to step
Do you want
aside?
to review the First Amendment of the Constitution?
I feel very comfortable. At the time you entered the plea, at the time you entered the plea of no
You didn't
contest.
hear what I said to her and Ryan, and they were there.
Your motion
I
to
said
withdraw your
5
plea
times.
is
In the
denied.
motion-
Your motion
The
to withdraw
motion to
your plea is
withdraw
denied.
the plea is
It's
if
denied.
someone doesn't understand the plea, they're allowed to withdraw it even after sentencing.
Sir, your motion is denied. So I'm ready to go forward with sentencing. Mr.
I'm
Finley,
the deal, this is a report, right, you guys?
I'm ready to move forward to
You
sentencing.
can't do that though, and there's gonna be consequences, whether it's
I
civil
feel
or
very,
not.
I feel very comfortable with that, so let's go forward.
You don't care, that's the gist of it,
Mr.
you don't
Finley.
care.
Mr. Finley.
Right, yeah, you're on the perch, that's the worst thing they could have done to you, was perch you up. Cause then you feel a lot more important.
All right.
Okay.
Hang on, so,
Oh, man.
Mr. Finley,
What did I?
stay at the podium, you're not free to leave. All right, so Miss, 501048 GMA.
Again, Randall Upshaw on behalf of Ms. Gia May, Your Honor.
I'm not quite sure why we're seeing Miss May again, Miss Esdale.
Yes, Your Honor. So I was in the middle of doing the instruction post your sentencing. The conversation I had with Ms. May, she indicated to me that she wanted to come back up here, was considering just doing the jail time in lieu of probation. She sounded like it's not something that she was interested in doing. Come back up here and readdress those views.
Mr. Upshaw, were you aware of this?
It's new to me at this point, Your Honor.
Miss May? you're requesting that the court reconsider and instead just place you in jail?
Yes, I just financially, I think it's a burden, a big burden on me on the financial aspect of it, and then, yeah, 24 months, that's a long time,
If-
not do.
Your Honor, if I can speak on behalf of Mr. May, Ms. May.
Go ahead.
Judge, in trying to understand what I believe she's saying, I know she has suffered great hardship because of the fact when she received the refusal, a lot of officers don't explain the rights to refusal, and her license were revoked, so she was unable to work. I believe this is her first offense, and she thinks, and I believe what she's saying is that because she can't afford anything because she's lost her main source of income and has no driver's license, that probation to be a real failure for her. If you notice, based upon her age, I believe this is the first time she's ever gotten into any type of trouble. I would hate to see Miss May actually do jail time, but before you grant Miss May her wishes, based upon those facts and her lack of mobility and her first time offense, even though it was a high BAC, she's been doing well, and maybe you might consider shortening the period of time as opposed to placing her in jail. But thank you for the opportunity of being able to speak. If in fact you would have placed her, and I want Ms. May to hear this, if in fact the judge would consider giving her a year probation, she would have the option of removing herself in 6 months, and maybe the hardship won't be as severe. Thank you for being heard.
So I'm happy to walk through this. So Ms. May, the reality is you're 0.27 behind the wheel. That's a high bodily alcohol content. So I have to start off, at least the way I handle my probation, I have to start off with 24 months on this. But I'm telling you right now, if you do well, we regularly consider early discharge, even as early as a year. And if the court considers getting you off at a year, that's $600 of probation oversight costs that I waive. In addition, all of these fines and costs, I place you on a long-term payment plan. I've never put anybody in jail for inability to pay when they've done all the other things on their probation and they're doing well and they just need more time to pay. I've discharged people on probation with a balance, giving them time for the rest of their life to pay this off, as opposed to trying to figure out a way to collect $3,000 from you right now. Like in a best case scenario, my hope is let's get to work on things on making sure you're testing, get involved with counseling, because obviously this has been a very traumatic episode of your life. So talking to somebody would probably be a good idea as you're trying to manage all those different pressures and frustrations. And the community service I've taken down for you as well. And so my goal here is not to see you fail or to make sure that you pay $3,000 in the next 3 months. I hit the pause button on that. I mean, Mr. Young, I think this is your case, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when's the last time, you've been working with us for a while, and when's the last time you saw me put somebody in jail because they couldn't make a payment?
Never.
Never. So I have to get you a sentence that is consistent with the crime that you committed. All right. You committed a high bodily alcohol content. So 2 years probation, the high fines and costs make sense. But I want to give you a path so you're not having to pay the full balance and you're not having to be on probation the full amount of time. And you've already, and frankly, that's an amount where the court could consider upfront jail, but the good work you did on bond convinced me, let's suspend the time like probation recommends. So I see a lot of promise here. But the reality is that, I mean, I don't know how your life gets easier by you sitting in jail for 93 days, because you will absolutely do 93 days and it will start right now. If that's the choice you want to, if that's the path you want to go down. But Ms. May, I think there's a path out of this. I mean, I think the two of you can work on this and you can identify the terms of probation and get them done in a responsible order. Like, okay, we need to get done this now, this can wait a minute. All right, we got to check this box, but this can wait a minute while she does, while she checks for a second job and does these types of things. I wish, Mr. Upshaw, that there had been a chance for her to, and again, I don't know if there's, and you could explain to her further her options to maybe go to the circuit court for a hardship, maybe get a restricted license. Obviously, there's a cost to that, but I absolutely recognize, Ms. May, that until June, this is a grind. This is really, really, really hard. But I'm not I'm not trying to figure out a way to see you fail. You've got to check some boxes with this court for sure. You've got to learn what caused you to get to be a 2-7 behind the wheel so it never happens again. But my probation officers aren't charged with, let's figure out a way to make it as difficult as possible so we give her the 93 days anyway. Now I can get why it might feel like that when you see all that, but I'm hoping that this explains it to you even a little bit better. Like, let's just sit down today with Ms. Esdale and figure out, okay, what do we want to get done first? My goal would be get you signed up with counseling and make sure we're on track with our testing. All right. Some of the other things that are required, the victim impact and all this stuff, they can wait. So it's up to you, Ms. May.
Tia has a son that I've been helping her raise all his life. He lives with me.
How old is he?
I had brain cancer, lung cancer, and survived all of it. But I don't be understanding everything, but I know she don't need to go to jail or anything. And I don't know.
But the challenge that I have is if she's like, I'm not willing to do probation, my only other option is jail. Because there has to be a sanction for her conduct. I don't want to put her in jail. I clearly don't want to put her in jail.
But I guess she's not receiving anything from anywhere, and I guess the job was to help for her. I don't know. All I get is Social Security, she gets nothing. But
All right, well, I mean,
no.
I'm with you, ma'am. I don't know why she would choose that path, but I'm not going to force somebody on probation who doesn't want to do probation. I mean, I would suggest to Ms. Esdale, I mean, if the SoberLink is too expensive, we can look at ETGs, but I think transportation is a problem there. So these are the issues that I'm running into. I'm trying to come up with different ways, as you can tell.
That's how I feel as well, like I'm trying to find ways as well for the one to be a probation officer, or when I have to do the random tests and stuff like that, one of those places. I'm just on the food right now. I don't have a vehicle myself, and now I'm renting out a car for her because her car isn't vehicle, but I can't even afford to have a vehicle. It's just a lot of things. It's like I might as well just sit down for 90 days.
How old's your son?
10.
10.
Yes.
How does that conversation go? It's Thanksgiving, where's mom? It's Christmas, where's mom? How's that conversation go? I mean, you're not even giving us a chance to see if we can work around your restrictions and limitations. And I know you're probably thinking that they're just trying to figure out a way, or I'm just going to end up in that path anyway. You have to try really hard to end up with 93 days here, all right? You have to basically tell me that you aren't interested in any sort of help. So if you're trying and struggling and all this kind of stuff, we'll work with you. Because what's the point of all of this? You know, we don't protect the community just by sitting you down for 93 days because you haven't learned anything from this episode other than sitting in jail for 93 days.
Okay.
So, I mean, like I just told you, my main priority is I gotta make sure you're not drinking around the holidays with all the pressures and all the things that you're dealing with. I can't have you going back to that. So the testing is, but we're willing to work with you on this. And then in the meantime, while she's doing her reporting at the very beginning of transportation issues, don't we do report by Zoom sometimes?
Maybe a couple of issues, yeah.
That's doable, right?
Yeah.
And even counseling, there are counselors that do things by Zoom, right?
Yes.
So let's just choose the fact that this might be possible. We're going to continue with all terms. I'll see her for a review. And here's the other thing that I say: I feel like once you get engaged with Ms. Esdale, Mr. Young, I think you'll see what we're all about. Okay, but because you made that choice for yourself today, if you come back to Mr. Young and you say, you know what, I'm just not interested in it. I tried, Judge told me, I just want to do the 93 days. Because you at least gave it a shot, I'll wait until after the holidays to do it. So, like, that's my gift to you. Like if you come back to us and say, you know what, I'm not interested, just by even trying it, I'll at least hit the pause button and do it at a time frame that hopefully will make it so you don't miss important moments and dates. But my feeling is that once we get you the support, you'll see that, hey, this is a good thing. Because I don't want to be in front of a judge ever again, and I don't want to get in handcuffs, and I don't want to miss any moments. It doesn't seem, ma'am, like she's got a ton of support, and I'm certainly frustrated to hear that. But I think after a while, if you give us a shot, you'll see that we can actually be a source of support, not the enemy. What do you think, Ms. May?
Yeah.
Mr. Upshaw, are you good with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, all right, Ms. Asdale?
Yes.
I don't know too if, you know, if she does choose to go the path of ETGs, and she can't make it to a particular test, then we have the option of online meetings, things like that she could do instead. So we can get creative, but I just need a commitment from you that you're gonna stay in touch, good communication. If this goes sideways, reach out to us, okay? All right, good luck, Ms. May.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.